Important regular training. It has to be provided to all personnel regarding the biomedical waste management. So, how to pre-treat? Regarding since we are, talking about laboratories. So all lab waste has to be pre-treated. So how? So there, again the amendment in 2018 regarding these biomedical waste rules have prescribed that as per WHO guidelines on safe management of biomedical waste, as well as there is a WHO Blue Book, it says, they have given out all the methodology as per WHO on it. So trial, it is being autoclaved or it is being microwave. So we have to, we all know there is color coded bins, but keeping in mind that at least the corresponding biobags, corresponding colored biobag should be in the color coded bin. So you usually be seeing that in a yellow bin there is a red biobag. So at that time people might not take care, but what goes out is the biobag. So even a simple innocuous mistake by the waste handler will it will result in improper management. So what is this biohazard symbol? Why is it important? Because you would see that anywhere regarding biomedical waste in all biobags, bins, the trolleys for transportation, the interim storage area, everywhere this sign will be there. So ironically, it was developed in 1966 by Charles Baldwin. He was an environmental health engineer for the Dow Chemical Company. So there are 4 circles you would see and they denote the agent, host, source, and the transmission. So this was regarding this. So just keeping in mind few principles of the waste segregation. So the golden rule is, you have to segregate it at the point of generation. So wherever this point of this, if you do not fail to do that, so there has to be mixing. For instance, in the ward or anywhere you would see wherever sharps are used, if you do not put it in the sharp container itself, or the usual tendency is to put it in a kidney tray. So someone will take that around, and at the final end all will be dumped in a, that he might dump it anywhere. So there has to be segregation at point of generation. This I am laying stress because this is the most important. And of course segregation in different containers with different bags and barcode. So barcode is also very important because as per barcode there will be traceability, and this barcode you have to put it at whenever a person comes for taking out the waste, and even at the point of when waste goes out of your healthcare facility, at the point of this common biomedical waste treatment facility, again there will be a handshake between the data of the barcode to ascertain whether there is any pilferage of waste or not. Whatever waste was collected from the site, say any ward, so that should correspond with whatever waste that is going out. Okay, there should not be any difference in the waste quantity, the type of waste. So all this will be ascertained, and that might also be that is also makes it very traceable even to the pollution control board. So barcoding is very important. So to improve this segregation, there should be proper placement, labeling of these color coded bins and color coded bags with barcodes. So this segregation of waste should be maintained throughout its life cycle. So I will discuss that life cycle separately. So nowhere during its life cycle should the waste should be allowed to mix. That is during collection, transport, or even storage. So this any type of bio bag with barcode, so it has to be actually weighed and immediately barcode placed. So all type of infectious waste like lab cultures, stocks, microorganisms, masks, that is all non-plastic infectious waste. It will go into the yellow category, go for incineration. All the plastic waste, vacuum container, syringe, petri dish, glove, pipettes will go for autoclave or microwave. All the sharps, metallic sharps will go in the white translucent white container. So these two can be autoclaved. They can be reused, followed by shredding or mutilation. And all the glass waste as well as the used implants, they will go into the like the microscopic slide, broken test tube, glass vials, and they can also be autoclaved and then recycled. So during then they will be transported, and there should not be any opportunity for mixing of this waste. So they would be transported in a covered trolley, and they will be transported to a temporary storage area which should be protected from the sun and rain, from the elements. There should be all these, the four colors, the yellow, red, blue and white. There should be four color coded areas properly. And yeah, this is important because ventilation is actually mentioned in the rules, that if you do it all but forgot to place a ventilation, so even that will be objectionable. So there should be separate hand washing facility, good light, and floor should be actually impermeable, and all the way should be not be allowed to leach into the ground level. So this is what is regarding the interim storage of waste. Should not be allowed to be stored beyond period of this 48 hours, and if it does become stored for beyond 48 hours, then one should have to take appropriate measures to ensure that this waste does not affect human health and the environment. So this is what is the life cycle of the waste. Basically, in the healthcare facility, first all the waste has to be segregated at the point of generation. There should be again the collection. So all PPE has to be worn during the collection period, and there will be an in-house transportation. So and temporary storage, the interim storage area which we said. Then it will be transported finally to the common biomedical waste treatment facility, and there it will be unloaded, and then they will be actually treated as per color code and may be used for landfill or recycling. Secondly, there could be also the liquid waste management, which is actually done. This will also discuss in detail regarding the liquid waste management. So liquid waste is the human derived liquid waste all around, the chemical waste or chemical liquids